somehow. So it's perfect. And this will come through, so just allow to activate on your cellular level and to receive with your heart.
Yes. Yes. Full transmission. Okay, so we'll start Facebook and YouTube already started.
For
you guys, we're just going to start the Facebook right now. And I guess it's ready. Yes. Start the Facebook. Heart greeting everyone. We started the Facebook.
Love greetings to your heart, online and in the room. Good evening, everyone, and welcome again, like every week at the same time for Monday activation and transmission.
So right now we are streaming a preview talk about the meditation, about what we receive, energy update, and a quick brief also about that Monday activation is being changing recently as we've been receiving from our guidance and from the earth also and the sun. We mentioned those. That the souls are much mature right now and the energy much higher, that you don't need to full activate all the light body to receive. Previously you used to put a lot of visualization, a lot of energy work to open the vortex and receive. Now the vortex is way open, the energy is, the gates is way open. You just send your permission to your higher self and to the cosmic energy, and the transmission will be sent to you and you receive whatever you receive, whatever you agreed with your higher self and your guide. And of course it will continue as usually we always mention in your dreams. They will continue working with you if you give your permission to work on yourself with your guide, or through your meditation also you get visualization, some guidance or some work, and then you receive also guidance to work on your system. What's more you need to look at, some emotion, some energy upgrade or some releases and so on. So Monday right now is becoming more simpler and easier than before
for you guys.
Yet for us we need to do all the things, opening the vortex and so on. And yet sometime while we're doing the transmission and opening the portal and calling all the higher self, and we call specifically a specific way of archangels and elementals and coordinate corner of the earth, that being what we received recently, to activate that diamond light body. And then the transmission will start coming. So light language might comes, usually always comes. Recently it's been like we cannot stop it. Mathilde will be in after she told me last time that after 15 minutes when we just started, she was ready to start light language, and that was very early considerably to previous times. So the light language comes. Some of the light code you will hear me like buzzing or doing some mudras, frequency. If your eyes open and you're watching, you might observe through the mudra certain writing, certain code. It might come up as understanding. You don't need to analyze it. It's not logical, to be honest. It's more an energy transmission. You can feel it. Somehow you realize it through your consciousness, and you realize in the previous higher perspective consciousness, we used to know those light language, those code, those transmission, those frequency. When we drop in the frequency here and become more physical, we start needing more logical understanding of everything. And that stops us actually from accessing the heart, accessing the higher dimension that is not 3D cognitive, it's more multidimensional cognitive. So that is in brief what's happening in Monday, and for the people who's watching us, so understanding that if you are a newbie and you're just interested about receiving transmission, listening to some of the light language, light code, receiving some upgrade, Monday now is more open for more people to just come and bath into the transmission and release. And we are working with archangels, we are working with the sun, the consciousness of the sun called Solari Logos, and it sends, usually you can visualize it after a while, a solar ring. It's very powerful ring that clear your system. You can bath into it. You can imagine the heart of the sun and the earth coming above and below you, and those are universal understanding. We are always connected as a channel of light, and the solar rings will come to you and burn anything that is lower frequency, stopping you from connecting with the universe, and connect the earth and the sun, and then connect you with the universe.
So yeah, so we are also working with the consciousness of the earth, the elemental and the crystals. We are connecting with many deities from ancient Egypt and Atlantis as well, ascended masters, galactic families, and our strong connections are more on Lyra, Pleiades, Sirius, and Andromeda as well. So they are coming forth. So
and Octorius also recently was coming
yes.
For the healing also.
So the today it feels like ancient Egypt will continue, and I will also share what happened last week.
Sirius energy is still very powerful.
Yes, very strong. The ancient code.
I think preparation for eight lion
yes, the preparation
gates.
Of the 8
We mentioned about the lion gate. It's always the lion gate is as if the new year. What we understand is new year. So new year is rotating around the sun. That's what we understand, like new year. So 21st December, winter solstice, and the 8th lion gate is when the Sirius star realign with us, and it is considerably one of the ancient stars that all the old tradition connect with it as a wisdom, as a spiritual energy, and connect with the sun and us.
And at that time, on the 8/8, there is massive download of Ascension codes coming through. So the focal point on Earth is the Giza Pyramid, and it's all about ancient Egypt as well. So last week, what happened is in the channeling. So that's why I was somehow a bit not sure about how to interpret or how to speak about the channeling and the codes received, because it was super clear, but yet a bit new and strange for me to bring those information forth. So if you remember, last week was a pharaoh and Nefertiti that came through, and they spoke about a cosmic white light, and they bring forth ancient codes from Atlantis and Egypt. Those codes recreated the blueprint of the sacred geometry of the pyramids. And so the thing is, when it comes through, we are not having the mind trying to analyze, otherwise it disrupts the transmission. So it felt a bit weird, but yet let's bring that forth, and the channel open. The verbal channeling was about this cosmic white light and bringing you back into your nebulous and bringing this flame and so on and so forth. When I broke the information to you when we closed the session, I said suddenly, but it was Seraphis Bay. I don't know if you remember that moment I spoke about Seraphis Bay, which is an Ascended Masters, the Choran of the fourth ray. And the day after, I checked what is the link between this pharaoh, Nefertiti, and Seraphis Bay. So Seraphis Bay has been reincarnated as a pharaoh in Alexandria, and his wife was Nefertiti. And another incarnation, he was the architect of the Giza Pyramid. And
we are doing a tour, spiritual powerful awakening tour to the Egypt.
Yes, and we are right now preparing the sacred site activation and transmission in Egypt. That will be end of October. And today, so we are doing it. And today, one of our friends, Azil, if you know him, sent a message and said we need to go to that site, which is next to the Giza Pyramid. And it's actually Seraphis Bay Temple. That I received a message that something very important is around the Giza Pyramid, but I didn't know where it was, and I asked a couple of friends that were in Egypt, and they said, well, I don't know what you're talking about. And that's this site that we also going to visit, that we put in the program today. So last week was very strong, and today again, a couple of Egypt deities came through in our sessions today. So let's see what will come for you guys. So we really invite you to open up, to allow your channel to receive, to not bring your mind to analyze, to not bring your 3D fears or egos trying to analyze again, but also bring the fears and interfere, like this is not true, I don't know that. But so you are in a comfort place, a comfort zone that you know very well as of now. So bring yourself and give your permission to yourself to step out of your comfort zone, to reach another comfort zone that will allow all those codes to come through without disturbance or without being disturbed by your 3D mind. Right now you are really in between. So when I was talking about Seraphis Bay as the Choan of the fourth ray, this ray, he's the gatekeeper of the Ascension flame.
That's why time is very
Yes.
good for that connection.
And this ray is about harmony and balance. And the solstice, the summer solstice, is about bringing the polarities into balance, bring the earth and the sun into one vortex, bringing your shadows and your light into one center. So it was all about bringing this balance and this harmony. So we are aligning, grounding our spiritual light into our body, into the earth, but also bringing our creative expression to blossom, bringing our ideas, our projects, our not intuition but inspiration, and bringing it, materialize it on earth now in your reality, so it serves yourself and everyone participating to your reality. So humanity and the universe,
we
the
call
collective.
it first bubble reality,
Yes.
to the second as the full collective.
So it was sorry baby. So it was this this rays coming through, being pushed and amplified by the solstice, and all this creative expression to bring forth and anchor that. So harmony, balance, ancient codes from Egypt and Atlantis being reactivated. We also reactivated the blueprint of the sacred geometry of the Giza pyramid. I needed like pyramid templates that have the 72 degrees, 56 degrees, and then bringing all this energy through us, anchoring it in our DNA, in our cells, in our heart, and blossoming it with a physical action. All right. So that's those last week. Intense, huh?
Yeah, this is the energy of the energy update for you missed the start. So we're giving a quick brief about the Monday is shifting. Monday meditation activation is shifting a bit, and we're receiving what's happening on the energy upgrade right now and the Ascension's energy, because the changes is very, very fast right now. Like every 2 weeks, a completely new theme happening and energies happening and
so
opening and
the
stuff.
timeline is locked, but there's a lot of variable in between, and that requires a lot of flexibility. So for example, today we were asking for some dates, and the answer was it is coming, it is there, but the dates cannot be fixed as of now because we have a lot of variable and it's synchronizing all the time. That of course we know that, but it's more than before. So it's like,
yes, and also we've been receiving very strongly from our guides and from many, as we mentioned, ascended masters, and many who's foreseeing of the ascension and the maturity of the consciousness that's speeding up right now. If you can look around, you see that people who's calling for spirituality is booming everywhere. So we received that we'll start a more as Ascension school, alchemy school, where we're going to teach many aspects of how consciousness and quantum physics are actually hand in hand moving together right now, like expanding everywhere. So there is no excuse anymore for the people who still denying. They can choose not to join if they want, if they are still stuck in their mind. I call it Newton physics. So you have the quantum physics and Newton physics. So Newton physics is more 3D, this and this, that's it, finish the story. Where the quantum physics is multidimensional and the time-space continuum is completely different than Newton physics, which is very limited and very old. So now we've been called to put out courses and a lot of research, collecting them actually. I'm not doing the research ourselves, we're doing the consciousness research ourselves and connected with the quantum physics. So you get your own confirmation from science and consciousness and hands-on experiences, so all those aspects. So you don't have doubt in your lower physical mind, because your mind also might doubt, because but people, da, da, da. I know this doubt will come, but now it's like, stop it. This is really old. You're going to stop that. And then for the other people who still talking that spirituality is hoo-hoo, apology, sorry, they haven't done their homework. And that's why we are
Yes.
doing our homework for them and for you to come and say, quantum physics done this, consciousness researchers done that, hands-on experience happened like this. So we have a huge data with the research, so they cannot deny it anymore. They can refuse to join, it's up to them as a free will, but the ball in our field, I would say. So get your strengths and know that if your lower mind might happen, the lower mind, oh, I don't know if I can do. It's an old belief system. Drop that.
Yeah, just remember
we
that.
can do literally everything.
Yeah,
when
like
you open up.
ignorance is a free will, a choice. That is a choice. The person who wants to remain in ignorance and denial, then they are doing a huge effort for that, because everything is available now.
Yes.
Everything. The science has evolved so much in 6-7 years that
It's like,
they all talk about consciousness and quantum physics. That was not the case 6 years ago. Now it's like everyone is.
I want to share this. Yes, yesterday I was sharing with my love about it.
Yeah.
8 years ago, I've done the first, I would say, presentation, because I was researching into quantum physics and consciousness matters. I've done the first presentation in Third Eye Center. If you know the Third Eye, it's closed right now. And that at that time, I think no one was so much aware about the quantum physics, I would say, at that time. They know about it, but they don't know what is it. They know it's like, okay, new science, we don't know what is it. Einstein thing. That's it. That's what they know, I would say. So I listed down, literally, how the evolution of the quantum physics with the consciousness and the multidimensionality from the 30, because it started 1930, by the way, all the way to 2006. 2006 was a breakthrough of something called M theory. So all the quantum physicists all together gathered, they've been working on this theory for a while, and they confirmed 2006 that, okay, now we agree on this theory at least. And it's confirmed, done, this is the theory. And now all the quantum application is based on the same theory. The theory called M theory, 2006. So for my understanding is, that time is a quantum jump of the human consciousness, as the scientists agreed on 11-dimensional space. That's what said the M theory. It said we are not 3D, we are 11-dimensional space, and the time is not separated from space. Time-space is continuum, and they said at the core of every atoms and subatoms and quark, and every time they come up with names, there is something called string vibration. And how that string vibration vibrate, it create what we call atoms and molecules and stuff. But at the core, they are all made from the same string vibration.
The core of everything is sound.
So everything is, in a way, sound one of the aspects.
By the way, the next
everything
sound,
is frequency, everything is vibration.
Is end of July.
So they confirm that everything is energy vibration, is frequency, is a string of energy. That's what they call it. And for me, it's like when I realized and I saw this, and I was like, I have to go and tell everyone about it. And I remember I've done the presentation at that time and give them a lot of tools and proof and stuff. And I can see some of them, they get it, and then the minds drops. Some of them, they get it fully. And they said, but no one knows about this, or something, or everyone will come up with some excuse from his mind. Or some of them who's aware about the physics, they will say, this is a quantum physics. It doesn't apply. That's what they say. It doesn't apply on our reality. I was like, what? And I checked it. It's true. At that time, we didn't have that much application on reality, so they consider it as, it's still away from being applied in our reality. Right now, the scientists are creating a quantum computers based on quantum physics. Right now, the amount of the experiment of quantum theories applied in our reality is huge. So when I've done the research after 8 years, and I was like, love, do you know that everywhere in YouTube there is someone talking about those theory and those application, quantum entanglement, and there is a huge organization, they're doing a real physical experiment on it, not anymore just quantum. One of them is Global Consciousness Project. They collected data so far from the 1990, I guess, till now, that they can measure any shift in our emotion or our perception around the world, and they can detect that and put it into huge servers and say there is a shift in consciousness here. We can measure it. This is a huge. So being guided to do that and then take you from that into how you can be a beacon of light, how you can be, of course we're going to talk about the heart resonance, the 5D manifestation, the light body, the consciousness expansion, and you can even, when you if you enjoy that and you expand it, you can even teach it to others. You can tell them, come, let's talk about consciousness. So that will be the next step, I guess. All right, so beautiful. I like to excite you guys because I'm excited and we are excited here. So Ascension is on, I would say, is the consciousness is expanding so rapidly, and we need to honor the step up in our frequency and understanding, and I would say not be, and release our old fears. It's not anymore the old things, spiritual people. No, this is now is the quantum physics is merging with spirituality. It's like it will be the future. All right. Thank you. I guess we will go into the transmission right now, and we'll explain a little bit about meditation quickly, about the breathing, and you are just required to be sending your permission to your higher self and receiving and releasing whatever you want to release. We're going to explain how to, in a way, don't release everything to Mother Earth, because yes, she can handle everything, but the way the Mother Earth can handle it is she needs to transmute it, and one of the ways is through nature. So the other part to help Mother Earth while transmuting any negativity or any pressure is to bring solar rings, some technology, and some light to transmute, neutralize any heaviness, and then send it to Earth as neutral energy. And then Earth can use it as more beneficial for the elements and the energy of the Earth. And that's one part. Second part is you can visualize yourself inside the ball of light. That's your light body, and we'll do our part of activating the diamond code and with our angels, and transmute the light language and light code through your gate into your light body. All you need to do is to visualize yourself inside the ball of light, and then send your permission. I'm ready to activate. I remember. I'm ready to remember. I'm ready to awaken. Whatever you want to call it. I am light. I'm calling light. This kind of calling for expansion. And thank you guys for watching us here, and see you in the next previews and talks. Love to you.